Well, thank you guys for coming and joining me today on another episode of our podcast. This has been fun. Every week we're interviewing fighters that are going to be competing in the executive fight night on May 17th. And so this will be the time you guys get to chat and get to know each other a little bit before you fight each other. That'll be the next time you get to interact. So it's kind of a fun thing to look at your opponent, get to know them, and then see why they're doing this. So let's start with introduction. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Christensen, and I've been boxing since about 2020. Started with Legends 2021, started sparring at the end of that year, and been trying to get a fight ever since. Just sounded fun. No reason in particular, just I was drawn to it. I liked it. Everything made sense. It was easy to get into, location-wise and scheduling-wise, and it just all came together.
Great. So what do you do for a living?
I supervise a machine shop for a manufacturing company. So
Nice.
manufacture tables and chairs, and I'm the supervisor over the team that welds the table legs.
Wow.
So nothing like boxing at all.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you?
My name's Emma. I started boxing randomly, actually, because of one of my coworkers that was part of Legends back in 2022. I boxed and was a member coach for about a year, and then I actually took a break, took 8 months off just to kind of refigure out where I wanted to be in my life, and found my way back to boxing with this fight, and I'm really excited about it. I feel like the break was good. I came back a different boxer. I have a new style to myself, and I think it's going to be really fun to kind of show it off in the ring, and especially with Allie, because we have met each other before through Legends.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of a small world that we're coming together for our first fight together.
Yeah, that is fun. And so where was the gym that you first started at?
I originally started at Jordan Landing,
Okay.
and then I transferred over to Trolley Square, and now I'm actually back at Jordan Landing for the fight.
Great.
So kind of back where it all started.
Yeah, I was at sparring a couple weeks ago at Jordan Landing and seeing the different fighters. I didn't realize you guys had so many that you were training. It's similar to Lehigh has a lot of fighters.
Yeah, it's become really big over there. I think we have 5 fighters out of our gym right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of work for Fina. So she's she's a great coach. And Demetrius, I think, is helping too. So
They both are. It's been awesome.
yeah.
One thing I'm excited for, though, is just both of us representing women in boxing. There's not many women that even spar, and so I'm really excited for us to both get up in the ring and just, whoever wins, whoever loses, just show that, women are involved in boxing and hopefully get some more people into the ring.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I think that women's sports in general right now is getting the spotlight that it deserves. I think it's boxing, combat sports, basketball, right, with, is getting more spotlight, more recognition, and it's nice to see that evolution and respect and the sold out crowds now for main events. And I think you guys know that FightCon, our main event, was a female main event, which was the first time Utah's ever done that. So, and that fight was awesome. I don't know if you guys got to see it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'd say it was the fight of the night. Two of the most skilled fighters out of all the guys and girls. It didn't matter their gender. They were just good. That's exciting. I'm glad you guys are able to do this because it's not easy to do, when you're stepping into the ring and training and going through a training camp. It's a different level. It's a different type of commitment. What's stuck out to you the most as far as this commitment and the different level from exercise to committing to a fight?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was kind of good at sparring until I started fight camp, and maybe the first couple of spars I thought, like, yeah, this isn't so bad, this is just sparring. And after a couple of weeks, I went kind of downhill mentally, where I thought, oh, wow, I'm the worst fighter that's ever lived. I'm gonna die in there. And I'm typically cool under pressure, and I don't cry very often, but I found myself like crying after every spar. It just, broke me mentally. And I thought, what am I doing? How did I get here? And I found out talking to other fighters that this is actually really, really common. A lot of people go through this, where you kind of get over this hill of feeling like you're the worst. And then I've gotten over that now, and now I'm better than ever physically, mentally, and I'm feeling good again. It's been challenging in ways that I didn't even expect it to be.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's true. Like you create expectations for yourself, and you're training at such a high level and at such an intense level that in 9 weeks, you're doing a lot to your body. You know, it's intense, and that's why recovery and eating and sleeping and what a lot of people don't know is that when you're training that like this, it's hard to sleep. You know, your body needs to sleep, and that's what gets you back ready to train hard the next day and let your body recover. But your mind doesn't shut off, and I'm sure you guys might be experiencing that right now.
Yeah.
And so adding in those extra methods of meditation and extra therapies that do help that get your body ready for the next hard sparring day or hard day in class or pushing yourself to that next level, because you guys have a performance that's coming up that it's going to be hopefully a sold out crowd, and that adrenaline is something that we talk about often in our podcasts of learning how to control that adrenaline and how to maintain focus while under pressure. So it's very understandable that you go through these cycles.
Yeah.
How's the training been going for you?
It's been good. I definitely feel you on the mental aspect. It took me a little bit at first, especially getting back in the ring, kind of getting the mindset of I'm not just boxing for fun, like I'm boxing to prepare for a fight now, and just kind of getting to that point of prepare for literally anything. And then hopefully when you step in the ring, you're like, oh, I know what to do. Like I'm comfortable. I can do this.
Yeah.
The biggest struggle for me was probably cardio. I thought I was in shape, and then I started picking up the sparring that was at the level for the fight, and I was like, oh, I need to go run some more and get some more cardio in. But now I'm feeling a lot better. Those first couple weeks were a little hard. My body was definitely worn down, but I was able to go to Atmospheric a lot for like chiropractic appointments and like chiro, and that really helped a lot.
Good.
I feel like that aided my recovery a lot, and so now I'm feeling really good, have a good routine down, so now it's just kind of that final push to the fight at this point.
Yeah, it's amazing the modern science, how much it, because I mean, so much more respect for the old time fighters that they jump in an ice bath as a recovery. And we've got cryotherapy machines and red light machines and all kinds of stuff that really do speed up the recovery process, which allows you to push your body to another level that you might not have been able to do before. You know, the other side, I'm sure you guys are noticing and you touched on this, is the mental side of this thing, like the mental preparation. And when you're having bad days or you're feeling down or life is difficult or troubles at work or family or whatever, you use boxing sometimes as a good outlet. It's a good place to go and work that stuff out. And I wonder how that changes when you're actually training for a fight, because it's added stress, not necessarily a place of therapy anymore. So have you guys noticed any difference as far as that and going from a stress release to a stressful place?
Yeah, I feel like kind of like with what we've been talking about, the mental fortitude, like I've been able to increase just my mental stamina. So even if I am having a bad day, I'm less likely to break down, at this end of fight camp. And no matter how my day went at work that day, it's like a whole different day. It's like a whole reset. As soon as I get my gear on, get my gloves on, I could have the worst day at work, but the way I ended at sparring, that's what's going to set the tone for how that day went.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. How has stress management been for you, juggling all of these things?
It's been about the same. I feel like I like to try and have my work day and then my sparring day. I always try and tell myself I can do hard things, because sometimes it still does try and take a toll on me. I think the biggest factor for me and where I saw a change in where I was feeling with my stress levels is the people in the community at the gym, because I personally was feeling stressed, but I would have members of the gym come up and tell me how excited they are that they're going to see me get up and fight, and they're really looking forward to it. And I feel like that made me feel a little bit better mentally. I was like, okay, I don't need to be stressed. This is going to be good. Like, people are supporting me. I don't have to be stressed, win or lose. Like, I just want to be able to go out and have fun.
That's a great way to look at it too, because it's exciting for the members. It's exciting for the Legends tribe and friends and coworkers and family and all of that to feel like they're helping you in this process and supporting you in what you're about to do, and that you've got this support system of people that train hard and they spar and help you get ready, right? And it becomes this team approach to an individual sport. And it's kind of an extension of the tribe, extension of Jordan, Landy, and Lehigh of you got a fight coming up and we're going to help you get ready. And you can kind of feel that love and support from your coaches and from the people that you're training with.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like it would it just wouldn't be the same fight camp if I wasn't getting out there and sparring as many people as I'm able to. I'm seeing a bunch of different boxing styles, and I feel like it's really helping me prepare the best I can.
Yeah, and that's really what it is, trusting the process, the system, your coaches, and leaning into the hard days, knowing that, the next day is going to be better, and you may have some new challenges that you weren't anticipating, but, you keep pushing through, you keep powering through, and, that's really what it comes down to when you step into the ring. It's that preparation and that mental fortitude, that toughness, all the things that you've been planning for and preparing for, it's all going to come out on that night. And when you stay focused and you stay driven, you stay eye on the prize, so to speak, it allows you to get through those really, really hard times in training. So a lot of things, and what I think you guys are going to experience after the fight, right? What happens now, right? You've gone to a level where you've put your body through an intense amount of stress and conditioning and working out, and you go in and now win, lose, or draw, you guys both have done something amazing. And then what's your plan for after the fight?
It's kind of funny because the week after I've got a cruise with my in-laws, so
that's great.
I'm going to be laying on a cruise ship like a beached whale.
That's great. That's
but
a good plan.
I also don't want to lose my stamina either. I have a couple more days that I can come spar right after the fight, and I still want to come take advantage of that because I don't want to completely lose everything that I just worked for.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. I've pushed myself to this limit, and I'm not willing to just throw it out the window right after the fight. So, hopefully right after the cruise, I can bounce back pretty quick and still keep up the skills that I've developed.
That's a great way of looking at it.
That's awesome, because I was about to say I would like to go take a vacation after the fight, probably take a weekend off, go like Jackson Hole or something in Wyoming, just kind of relax for a little bit. But for me too, boxing is still a passion of mine, and I really enjoy it as a hobby, so it's something I want to keep doing. So, take whatever my body needs after the fight, and then probably just get right back to it and hop in a class and hit that heavy bag again.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. That's a healthy approach to this. Is you are going to a peak, and then sometimes people crash after that peak, and it's because they weren't prepared for it. So as a coach and working with having worked with a lot of fighters, we try to prepare people for that. You don't want to necessarily look past the event at hand, but keep your mind focused on that this is a skill that you've gained, and this can be another starting point for more skills that you can pass on to other people as coaches, right? So when you're experiencing this level of training, then you go and you fight, and then you're done, you now have firsthand knowledge of what it's like to train like this and all the new weapons that are now in your arsenal. And in your classes, you can now speak from experience, right? Especially, I'm sure you guys have coached classes where there's the know-it-all kid that tells you, oh, this wouldn't work, or that, blah, blah, blah. And you've been there. You know what works and what doesn't work. So how has the team approach with your gyms that you guys have been at and working with these coaches? What do you think you've taken away from that?
I've been blown away at the dedication of my coaches. One of them, he told me to go to Costco. You're going to need these vitamins and these vitamins. And one of my other coaches, my headgear was falling apart. The Velcro was coming off, and she actually went to the store, bought Velcro, and brought it back so that I could keep my headgear on. And they text me throughout the week asking me, like, how's the weight coming? How's how's your eating? How's your sleeping? And, like, I did not expect this level of dedication from my coaches, but I really hope that they know I appreciate them and everything that they do, everything that they've sacrificed to get me to the level I'm at. I'm blown away.
I'm happy to hear that. How are things going there?
Really good. Very same. I mean, there's so many people dedicating so much time to prepare myself and all the other fighters we have at our gym that it's really amazing. And I have a lot of boxers that have fought before. So like you were just talking about, they've been in the ring before and they've seen, the skills firsthand, and they've been able to kind of help me kind of try out a couple of things and see what I like and kind of adjust based on what they've seen before. And I think that's been really helpful, and it's been really valuable to have those people supporting me and helping me through all the fight camps. They definitely push me.
Yeah.
I'll say, even though when I get in my head, they're like, you can do this. And they help me push past those hard slumps and then get right back to it. And so I think that has been the most important to me. because they know me and they know what I'm capable of, and they're trying to push me to that.
Yeah. And it's all from a place of love and wanting you guys to be your best selves and perform at your best level. And now you'll be able to do that for other people too, which is such a cool way, and why this Legends tribe is so important, and it matters and means something. It affects people in different ways. And, using the irony of fighting to kind of create camaraderie and a bond, and it's a level of respect that gets passed on to different fighters and coaches, and that continues. And what's beautiful about this whole sport is that you don't have to fight to learn boxing and to gain something from this, right? It's a different thing. It's a different way to do it. But if somebody comes in, they want to work out and get a good workout, boxing can just be that for them. And that's wonderful. There's no good or bad or right or wrong when the intentions are to be there for your tribe and help these tribe of people in whatever aspect that they're trying to go through.
So I think too, for the fight, we're going out there to win, but I feel like we also have a very good respect for each other, and it's going to be a good fight. And, we'll be like, oh man, you really got me with that hook in that corner, but I got you back over here. And so I feel like Legends, like the culture has really been building like that positive and like mutual respect. And so I'm looking forward to having that with her in the ring.
Good. I'm glad to hear that too, because it's, I've fought my brother twice, and we joke about it, and he knocked me out and I barely beat him, once, and he's definitely a better boxer than I am, but it's, we're family and we still, do this. And I explain that to people, when they get into boxing and they look at boxing as this violent thing, when it's not violence, right? Of course there's a violent component to it, but it really is a sport. It's a way you compete, and you learn how to use moves, techniques, and strategy to beat your opponent. And it's not just the flailing of arms and, all of a sudden your hand connects, right? Like there's, as you guys are seeing and learning and developing these skills of how to land that punch and why to do this, and you have to do that. And it's a chess match that's going on.
I don't think I'll ever forget my first class. I was just doing a trial class. I was like, let me try out the boxing. How sore I was afterwards, because I didn't realize how much was involved with boxing, and it really blew me away. And I think that was a couple years ago now, and how far I've come now, there's a lot involved, and every day it amazes me how much it takes to, be a boxer.
Right. Yeah. And it's real. It's not, you can go hit a bag, but, boxing, learning the sport of boxing is a skill. It's something you develop. And no matter how many years I've been doing this, I still am always learning something, always realizing something, or somebody, just the other day I was, somebody landed a flicker jab on me that I was like, whoa, I haven't had that happen in a long time. And now I started working out and on the bag to see if I could land this and, bring that into sparring. And it's such a cool, unique punch. But, after 30 years of doing this, thought I'd seen it all, but it was cool to see how this person did it. So what do you think you've taken away from that?
Really just how well I can handle the stress, physical, mental, emotional stress. I've got a million things going on. I'm having to cut a little bit of weight, and naturally this is, when I feel like food is just constantly surrounding me. But I'm really pleasantly surprised at how well I think I'm adapting to this fight camp, and it's been one of the hardest things, probably the hardest thing I've ever done. But also knowing that it's not going to be forever, so any sacrifice right now is worth it. And I've pleasantly surprised myself what I've been able to do.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think when you dedicate to something, right? Motivation no longer becomes a factor because you've made a decision that I'm going to do this, right? Like that the motivation is out the window. Does not matter how I'm feeling that day, if I'm up or down. That dedication and the discipline to what you guys have set your minds to do is now the mission and the focus. And when you're not feeling so hot, or you're had a bad day at work, or whatever the case may be, in other settings, you might not feel motivated to go and work out or go to sparring, right? There's hundreds of times. I'm sure that that's happened for me, you, and everybody else. But when you have dedication and a mission and you're focused on, I'm going to perform at the level that I've set myself to, that I've committed to myself, right? You will show up, and I will do this. And I think that helps you be very confident in what you've committed, right? So when the motivation is wavering, that dedication will defeat it, right? And you don't have to rely on how you feel.
And it's so nice to know that I'm not the only one that feels that way, because even though I've been wanting to fight for so long, now that I'm here, there are days that like I would rather do anything else than put on my gear and spar. But I'm going to do it anyway because I made myself a promise. I made my coaches, I made Emma a promise, that I'm going to do this. So I better do it. Motivation doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, it sounds cliche sometimes because you hear speeches and TED Talks and motivational speakers all about discipline and motivation, all that. And it's so true though, right? Like it was so true that when you are dedicated and disciplined, the motivation doesn't matter. And I struggle with that in all kinds of areas of my life of being motivated, unmotivated. I'm going to do this, going to do that, but when you do make a commitment and you see that commitment all the way through, there is some level of satisfaction that it's hard to describe because you can look yourself in the mirror and know that you did everything you said you were going to do. And the outcome becomes less important because you decided something and you saw it all the way through. Come hell or high water, I'm going to show up that day and I'm going to perform at the level I committed to myself. And it does come at a great sacrifice sometimes. And I see this a lot in all areas of life is that, there's excuses for everything and sometimes justifiable reasons for why people quit or give up or whatever, right? But those that don't allow the excuses and reasons to prevent them from succeeding, they'll succeed. Sometimes it's a heavy price and sometimes the price isn't worth it. And I understand that, but when you do decide to do it, it is amazing what you can do. And think about this. Rationalize what you guys are going to do here. You're going to be fighting in front of a sold-out crowd for the first time in a USA-sanctioned boxing match, where it's just, when you really break it down, this is a real thing. This isn't just some little, I think I'm going to go box today, right? Like the camp that you guys have been in, and there's still 3.5 weeks to go, and it's real, and it's not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy. Because I do think that when this is all over, if this were easy, the value of it and the feelings that you take away and what you'll take with you for the rest of your life will pay dividends. And you'll be surprised at the examples that you set for other people that are contemplating doing hard things or might be going through hard things. Imagine what you can go through now in life. And when life tends to throw curveballs at us, you can still hit it out of the park regardless. It's fun to see you put yourself to the test, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say to somebody who's thinking about boxing and getting into this type of a sport? What would you say your best takeaway has been on this journey?
It's hard to pick just one, to be honest, but I always tell people to just try it out. You won't know how you feel until you're in it. It has a different meaning for every person. So I feel like once you get in there and kind of see, you'll find what it means to you. And that might not be anything, and you might find something else, but you can find something really great in boxing, whether it is just a community, some stress reliever by hitting a heavy bag, or something great and where it turns into you getting into a ring and putting on a show and putting on a fight with someone.
Yeah, I agree. I think the results and what it'll do for you is different for everyone, right? And I think we go in willing to try something uncomfortable and willing to feel a little silly in the beginning, right? And I think when you do try that and you're willing to feel a little silly and get outside of your comfort zone, that's where growth begins and we can challenge ourselves. What would you say to somebody that's considering trying boxing or something hard?
So just do it. It's hard. It depends on what level they're planning to, to compete or to box at, whether it's just the exercise. If you just want to come to class, the community's here. The workouts are great. It's going to keep you in shape. If you want to spar or fight, that'll keep you in shape mentally and emotionally. But I actually got my dad to join here at Legends, so we work out together.
Fun.
He's not into sparring, but it's been a fun way to bond over. Neither of us have ever really been athletic before this, so it's been kind of fun to develop that together and to both box. And if someone wants to go for it, I say go for it. Don't expect it to be easy, because nothing easy or nothing worth having is going to be easy.
Yeah.
But it's going to be worth it if you want to put in the work.
I agree. Have you guys picked out your walkout songs? Like all that's decided? You know how important that is?
I've been working out to mine actually, just to like get in the head, like get in the mindset. Yeah.
I've been working out to yours too.
That's wonderful. Yeah, the production that we're putting on this year, this last week I was at the venue and we were planning how the fighters are going to come in, and the video wall that is going to be, it's this massive wall that's going to play your montage of training and the interview when you guys first came in for the onboarding day. And it's one of my favorite parts of this is seeing people that have signed up for this and they started training, and a lot of people have never been thrown a punch before, and they're signing up for this, and we're teaching them all these things. You guys are fortunate enough to at least have a baseline of what's going to be happening. So we try to make sure that the show itself is just amazing, and that there is no stone unturned, and we thought of every little detail. And I'm particularly excited about some new technology that we're going to be using that allows your fans and family members to be able to participate and kind of pick on screen who they think is going to win, who they think won that round, and they can post it and it'll show up on the big screen TV and has some gamification and win prizes. And so the interaction this year with the fans is going to be a whole nother level. So something that we've never done before. So this year will be the first year that we get to introduce some new technology that will make it even more entertaining and really get the crowd into the fight. So I think your fans are going to really enjoy it. I know our tickets are expensive this year, and we're trying to make sure that when everybody walks away, that they walk away going, that was awesome. So we know that you guys are going to bring it as far as the fight is concerned. So I want to make sure I do my job and that the fight itself is amazing.
It's going to be really cool. A bunch of the people coming to support me are coworkers. So I work in veterinary medicine, and then just friends that I know. But a lot of them aren't even familiar with boxing. So it's going to be their first time experiencing and seeing any fights. So it's going to be really fun for them to kind of interact and see what they think. Because they're, like you said, they don't know anything. They're like, oh, I can throw a punch. But they don't know the fundamentals behind it. So it's going to be really interesting for them to have that experience.
Same with my friends and family. Coworkers, they see the price of the tickets. They're like, wow, that's kind of pricey. He's like, you're going to get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. Good. They put on a show. It's not just going to be Mickey Mouse Club, patty cake. They're going to put on a show.
Yeah, it is. This year, I'm super excited about it. We finally have a venue where we can feed everybody. So everybody show up hungry, because we've got 1% Catering, which is a health and fitness meal company in Utah, and they're making a very healthy food that tastes really, really good. So instead of hot dogs and hamburgers, we decided people have been training, let's stay healthy, but they've put together some sauces that I'm really, really excited about. They're so good. So we've got all of that fun stuff. And then, I think I'm most excited about the crowd interaction, because they don't necessarily need to know much about boxing. Like, they can feel like, blue team or red team is winning, and it'll kind of tally the points, and there'll be prizes that they can win, and it's going to be really, really interactive. So first time ever doing it. We'll also have pay-per-view, which is fun, because there's, I'm sure, friends and family all over the country that it'd be difficult to come in for, but they can watch it online. And then, of course, you guys will be able to watch your tape later and see how you felt you performed.
Yeah, I might need a week after the fight before I'm ready to watch that, but it's
Totally
always good to look
understandable.
back and see where you can improve too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure where we both want to go if we want to ever fight again, but if we do, we can take away notes from our first fight.
Yeah, I think you're both taking a very healthy approach to this, that you worry about this fight and what you're going to do and stay focused on that. And then the day after, the year after, the month after, doesn't matter. Like, that'll be to decide then. Right now, it's focused on being your best version of yourself in the ring, and you'll be happy with your outcome, I think. You know, I have no doubt both of you guys have been training and doing everything that is required to be your best self. So any last messages that you want to make sure that your friends, family, crowd, coaches know?
Just tell them that I love them when, Emma destroys me and I never wake up. No, I do appreciate all the support from friends, family, coaches, the gym. Just everyone has been so supportive, and I never expected this in a million years. But I'm so glad to be part of this community, whether or not, someone chooses to fight and compete. This is a great community to be a part of, whatever you're looking for.
Happy to hear that. Thank you.
I also just want to say thank you to everyone that supported me, my coaches, my friends, and then also thank you to you. I couldn't be in the ring without you, and I think it's going to be really fun, a very special moment to do my first fight with you, so I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Same.
And then thank you, too, as well, with Legends, putting this on for us, because then we wouldn't even have the opportunity to be boxing without you guys.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. I get just as much out of this as you guys do. I truly see, like, passion and joy, and I'm involved in a lot of businesses, and my favorite business is Legends, and it's just because of the community. I get truly the core values, the real belong results. They're not just words. They really do matter to me a lot, and they matter to the community. And without you guys spreading that culture and continuing the mission that was started when we started this company, it wouldn't be here. We've had some tough years with COVID and economic conditions, and it's the community that's kept us around and kept us going. And we, at Legends, just absolutely love what we do and love the members and the coaches. And they're not buzzwords to us. It's just really a lifestyle, I think, that you guys are feeling, and that you're continuing to grow and spread. And I think that it's such a healthy thing for the world to have things like this, and for you guys to participate and keep it moving. Well, thanks for coming today. I'll be excited to listen to this one, and this will be on YouTube and on every podcast channel. So make sure that everyone listens, subscribes, comments, all that stuff. I don't know how to do any of that, but go online and do it. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.